Yo, what is going on, everybody? I'm Steezy, and thank you for checking out today's video. We've got episode number 2 of What the Fuck. If you did not see the first episode of this series, make sure you check it out. This is a purely Call of Duty League talking type video where I give my opinions on a certain subject. The first episode was understanding the current CDL standings because, I mean, some of you I don't know, just check it out because it's just mind-blowing. This episode, however, if you cannot tell by the title, which you can tell by the title, we are talking about OpTic Gaming Los Angeles. And here we go. Here's the current team, looking handsome and dapper as ever. Now, I'm not going to be talking about why they are getting shit on by the fans, the old OpTic fans, but I'm going to be talking about why they're getting shit on by all the other teams. And we're going to take a little bit closer look at them and their stats and see what the fuck is going on with them. Because you look at this team, look at this. Quavo, Kenny, who was MVP of World War II, TJ Halley, which was just an absolute force ever since he was, I don't know, ever playing. JCap, a legend, Slasher, always in the top. And Dashy, I mean, everybody loves Bruce, so, well, they did until they were two-faced and turned on him, but that's not the subject we're talking about today. Yeah, so these are the guys. It's just mind-boggling that this team right here is in the position they're in. I know Slasher always starts out slow on his teams, but towards the end, ends up going the fuck off and has a championship team, and I'm hoping that that is going to be the case this year because this is my third favorite team. Empire's first, represent the Envy. Atlanta is second because I don't have to justify why. We'll talk about that in some other video. But OpTic Gaming LA is my third favorite team because I love Kenny. I've been a huge fan of his, and Slasher is just an absolute force. So, yes, let's take a look at their stats as of right now. This is up-to-date stats. This is post-Atlanta. We are just days away from seeing them at their own Los Angeles homestand. So, anyways, this is up-to-date information. And I've got all this information off of right here. You can see it. All stats taken from the Call of Duty League website. I just took it and put it in an Excel form exactly like I did on the last episode. I've typed this stuff in, but I've not really thought about it. So we're going to be breaking down the team and their stats, and we're also going to be talking about the players individually. Quick preview. Oh my gosh, it's awful. Okay, so OpTic Gaming LA currently sits in 12th place with 0 match wins. And if I believe, yeah, right here, 3 games, 1, 12 lost. So currently 0 CDL points. The entire league is built on CDL points. The more you have, the better off you are. Top 8 make it into playoffs, and then I think they have 2 or top 6 make it in playoffs, and there's 4 wild cards. I can't remember, but you need to have CDL points. You cannot be sitting at 0, especially 2 events in. And that's another thing that we need to look at. They're only in 2 events, only 2 events deep. They do not have that third one, which some teams do. Now, after Atlanta, I believe this is what's going to bring everybody even. So post-Atlanta, we're going to be doing a video doing the standings one more time because it's going to be a better view, and we're hopefully going to be updating OpTic, and they're not going to be in last place. They're so close to not being in last place, it's not even funny, which we'll talk about. Again, no matches. They played 4 matches against 4 amazing teams, and they've lost all 4 of them. They have won 3 maps, so they're not complete shit. They're just they're just bad shit. 2 of those wins have been hard points. 1 was an S&D, and they have yet to win a domination. And I think somebody on the casting during Atlanta said most teams were just struggling to play domination. They're trying to figure it out. It's changing the rules, so whatever. So let's look at where they got their losses from. The Minnesota Open, the very first tournament we had where it wasn't really even a tournament, it was kind of just a showcase to show off the teams. They played Paris Legion, which at the time everybody thought they were going to smoke them, but Paris Legion ends up coming out and just surprising everybody. There's a number right next to them, and we'll talk about that number in a minute. So they played Hardpoint. I didn't write down the maps, but 250 to 235. So that's pretty damn close. That's very, very, very close. 6-1 on the S&D that they won. So their S&D was really good at the start. Their domination loss, even though it's only 18 points off, that's a good win. That's a good win for Paris. And then they ended up winning their hard point. It's a close game again. and then they lost their SMD. So overall, looking at these, I mean, that Search and Destroy was wonderful, and the rest of them is pretty damn close. So going on into the I don't know where we are now. Paris Legion's actually pretty damn good. I put third because that's the current standings that they're in. So technically, Paris Legion is the third best team. I put that in quotes because, you know, the CDL video, the league standing video I did not too long ago, that's what I'm talking about. So they lost to the third place team. Then they go on to play Chicago Huntsmen. And I think I got these numbers backwards, but Chicago Huntsmen. So we know Chicago Huntsmen technically is in first place in the CDL standings. They got 3-0'd by them. And a hard point, I mean, that's not an awful loss, but it's not a great loss either. Like, they played them close, but not close enough. The S&D, they pretty much got whooped. And then the domination was pretty damn close. So, I mean, you could say that they're a decent hardpoint team against Chicago, a terrible S&D team, and then against Chicago. And then the domination was pretty damn close. So, I don't know. They're playing close. And again, Chicago Huntsmen is, I have number 2. I don't remember why I put number 2, but technically number 1 in the standings. And then we go on to Atlanta homestand. Oh, where they played Atlanta FaZe, which is number 2 team, number 1 depending on how you look at it. But they got smoked in hardpoint. They did You can argue FaZe is the best S&D team or one of the best S&D teams, so that's an okay loss in my book. And then the domination is less than 20 points. So I mean, and that's Atlanta FaZe. So like we're looking at the first best team, the second best team, and the third best team. And then they go on to play Florida Mutineers, which you can say whatever you want about them. They're currently in 5th in the CDL standings, but they ended up coming in 2nd, beating out Chicago Huntsmen. So they're a damn good team too, and they were on fire that weekend. So with that being said, they actually did win the hardpoint. They came out and did pretty damn good on that hardpoint, and everybody's like, okay, that's the momentum they're going to have going forward. And I think they lost it when they lost round 11 on Search and Destroy. Look at this. If you didn't watch CDL Atlanta, and I can tell you to watch one match, watch this match. The 146 to 145. Actually, there's several, but this is one of the best matches. It was mind-blowing. 146 to 145. So that's a tough-ass loss. So, I mean, they won hardpoint. The S&D was, I mean, that was a flip of a coin at that point. The domination was a flip of the coin, and then they lost their hardpoint. So I mean, look at all this. They're in last place, haven't won a match, but look at this. They played number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 5. So that's pretty fucking, that's the top, more than the top half of the standings that they played against. And they played all of them pretty damn close. I think the worst match they played was, I don't know, that's close. Maybe, the worst map they played right there was Atlanta FaZe Hardpoint. The rest of them were, in my book, pretty fucking close. So they're getting a lot of hate for being in last place, and I don't think they deserve some criticism, but at the end of the day, like, look at these. Now, I know, looking at the stats, they still lost, so it is what it is, and I'm not naive, I understand that. But again, it's one of those things where like people just look at them in last place with 0 wins and like, oh, they fucking suck, they are horrible. Well, let's take into account who they played, when they played them in Florida's case, and how close they played them. And it's like a completely different story. It's fucking bonkers. But with that part being said, we're going to look at the players individually and at their stats, and that's just going to be, woo. I have not looked at these either. I typed them in, but I have not looked at them. Actually, I copied and pasted them. And actually, shout out right here. All stats taken from a spreadsheet created by somebody called Cam Allen on Twitter. So, at Cam Allen on Twitter. He does fantastic spreadsheets. It's insane. So, I took out what I thought was the most important. So, overall, we're looking at the overall KD. This is across every single map. And this is where we're sitting. Dashy, 1.08. That's the superstar. That's the guy that needs to be putting up hella big numbers, especially because at this point he was the main AR. So that's good. 1.08 is good, but what we're seeing is like 1.2s is where you really need to be. The main AR needs to be. JCap's a 0.81, Kenny's a 0.93, Slasher's a 0.88, and TJ is a 0.75. Like, holy shit, guys. Holy shit. That's awful. Now, if we look just at respawn, it's a little bit better. About the same. About the same. About the same. And about the same. So, it's just... They're just not playing very well. The fact that they played all of these matches this close with those kinds of stats, overall stats, is bonkers to me. So just imagine, if you will, they pick up their slang somehow. If they pick up their slang and they all go even, guarantee most of these matches are not, the scoreline is not this. And this is not this. So that's nuts. But let's break it down a little bit further just to figure out if we can find an outlier here and kind of give my opinion on what I think should happen. Dashi in Hardpoint has a 1.18. Awesome. Perfect. JCap, he's a sub. Who's the other subs? Him is, I think Kenny and Slasher Flex. So JCap and TJ are your subs. Those are low. Those are real low. Flexes, I think, should still be a little bit above even. So, I don't know. That's, aside from Dashi, I think everybody's doing awful. Of course, when you're looking at your subs, you want to look at your hill time, too. And TJ picks it up. Dashi picks it, is carrying a lot of time, which is crazy. I don't know. I guess that's not awful, but you want to pick it up. Like, they're just not doing well at a hard point at all. Kills per hard point. Nothing's really standing out besides TJ's not slaying at all. TJ's really not slaying. Again, this is the first time I'm really looking at this, so I'm figuring this out too. So in my opinion, on hardpoint especially, TJ is just not doing shit. Slasher was playing Flex, which was sub on most maps, I believe. He's, like, I don't know. I guess that's okay. He should be playing an AR, which I think he is now. Kenny, same thing. Like, these numbers are, they just need to be kicked up a little bit. Like stop. Like, be better. Kills per hard point, that's pretty good. 30. That could also be higher, but, like, that's just being picky. So Dashi clearly is not the problem, in my opinion. TJ is definitely the biggest problem. All right, let's look at S&D. S&D KD. Nobody above a 1. Let that sink in for a second. Nobody above a 1. That's last place. That screams last place. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, imagine if we were able to kick these up just a little bit, how well they would be off if they just, I don't know, started slaying a little bit more. I don't know what the problem is. I know a little bit of what the problem is because I've heard. But kills per S&D. JCap with the most at 6.5. Actually, almost everybody has 6. We can just round all those up to 6. And then TJ is, again, which 5... I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. But when compared to everybody else, just falling behind a little bit, I don't know. That's rough, dude. So TJ again, I think we found our problem already. All right, domination, this is going to be an interesting one. So nobody, again, above a 1. Nobody has a 1 KD. Dashi's really close. Kenny's really close. And again, no, okay, JCap is the lowest. Kills per Dom, 22 and 24 are their highest, bro. So the problem, here's the problem with the team. That's, I guess, decent. I don't know. That doesn't really matter, I guess. Here's the problem. Here, I can type out the problem right here. Let's go and make this pretty big. Where's this gonna go? What the hell? They need to fucking slay. I don't know what just happened to it. They need to slay. That's there. I've solved their problems. You can't see that, can you? Well, look at this awesome shit on the fly. They need to slay. That's all there is to it. They need to. What the shit? Okay, we're failing at this. We're absolutely failing at this. That's their problem. Their problem is they're not slaying at all. So, I don't know. That's that. Now that we've seen the stats. It really is mind-blowing to me that they are playing people this close with this bullshit of a stat line. Like, whew. Aside from Dashi, damn. And what sucks is, and I could just be talking shit, but I watch a lot of videos and I read some Twitter, and what it seems to be the problem is egos. I think we could have seen that coming. There's one person on the team, Slasher, who wants to call everybody's bullshit, and some people can take it, and some people can't, and Dashy's not one of them. We saw it with Crim6. That was Crim6's biggest complaint, was TJ and Dashy acting like children, not listening, whatever. So I think that still reigns true for Slasher. So I think that's probably a big reason. Slasher was running Flex, which in this meta, a lot of people were doing 3 subs. I don't know. I think I've seen a video where somebody was talking about potential roster move changes, and they were alluding, they didn't say, but they were alluding to the fact that Dashy and TJ were getting swapped. And some of the potential players to get picked up, I think Enable's name was thrown around. Who else was there? Dude, I could see Trey being on Zero. I could see Zero being on this. Take over that. I could see that being, I think that'd be cool. I love Zero, so there's that. That's probably my bias coming through. But regardless, I think Enable said it best, actually, when he was on the podcast with Pac-Man and Nameless. He said that he liked teaming with Slasher. He was one of his favorite teammates because he could see through Slasher's evil shit and get to the point of what he was trying to say. And I think that would be, I would love to see Enable on OpTic. I love Enable. I've been a fan of Enable since I seen him play Halo and win on Status Quo. Oh my god, way back. I don't even know what year that was. But regardless, this video is going really long. OpTic Gaming sucks. Their stats are absolute shit. I have so much faith in this team, though, that they will turn it around. I really do. They're playing people so close already with their terrible stats. And they've played the best teams, too. Like, what happens if they end up playing, like, LA Gorillas, which we're going to see? Or, who else is down at the bottom? Seattle Surge is another team. Like, what happens when they play the shit teams? I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to show a lot of people. I don't know. I actually tweeted out earlier today, well, the day I'm recording this, that I want them to lose bad at their homestand. Hear me out, because I think that is going to be that, like, okay, fuck it, dude, we're done. Let's switch out some players and really get to it. So, I don't know. Either way, if they start winning, fantastic, because I like this squad too, but I just want them to win because they don't deserve all the bullshit hate they're getting. They were already the underdogs going into the season with all the stupid bullshit hate they got. But whatever. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below what you would do if you were the manager. If you were Mud Dog on this team, what would you do with them? What would you say? If you were Pac-Man, how would you coach this team? I don't know. I'd be like, TJ, you're fucking out. Enable, come play. Book it. There we go. That's how you fix it. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Later.